happy to be here today and sharing about what we have achieved and what we are planning to do with Saros in the next month. So yeah, you guys can see my background as I'm at a beach right now. So yeah, really want to really need to use like a cool beer breeze right now. So yeah, let's get
Is
going.
that like a default Zoom background, or have you just got like some custom Ken thing put together there?
Yeah, it's kind of like a default things.
You guys need Saros on the beach, some animation
No,
from
I
your
know.
design team.
That's a
We're
good
gonna
one.
have that.
Okay, next time, next time.
Now,
So
now you're throwing out the idea someone will be working on it. Thanks to media team.
instant. I like that. That's productive. I have a question actually. Where's the media team? Like, how many people are in that? Because the videos put together and like the branding assets are looking pretty slick.
Yeah, we have like 5 to 6 people working on like the whole project. So you guys can see how I would say slick and also really good animation and also the designs of Saros. Actually, like in August, we also have kind of like a brand enhancement. So I will be talking about that later on. But yeah, that's a great team.
So this is easy. Like we used to do like these like spaces like on Twitter back in the day, like I think like last year. When we do spaces, there's absolutely like zero production, right? There's
Yeah.
no script, nothing. We just get on it and then we just like randomly talk. Now there's like some preparation. We have to do prep. We have to make sure the video is working, the voice working. So yes, there's a team behind it.
So professional. Well, I know, Lynn, you can go both ways. You can just raw dog it and just get up and just chat garbage on the mic for like an hour or so, but everybody finds it interesting. And then, well, now we've got the example of you guys being prepared. So big tests. See if you can do
Mhm.
both. So I understand that Ken is going to run us through first and talk us through some of like the milestones that Saros has hit recently. So I think like a good way to do this is Ken, like you take the mic and then I'm just gonna cut in, or I can try and be patient and wait until the end and start asking a bunch of random questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually in yeah, I will just go now. So in August, I think that we have already have like a lot of new improvement and activities that we want to share with the community. Um, so I will kind of like divide it into a few sections. The first one is definitely growth activities. Saros have been introducing like the buyback program. So like 20% of the protocol fee is allocated to buyback Saros every quarter. So I would say that is a really good news for the holders. Um, Also, as I mentioned before, Saros also went through a really great brand enhancement. Um, and it was introduced during conviction. So conviction is basically one of the biggest crypto events in Vietnam. Even though it's in the first year, we have concurred like quite good and also I would say fantastic numbers. I will go through that later on as well. Um, so during conviction, then we have Lynn here having a really great keynote about Saros. I was a panelist as well. And we have Saros booth there and a really great side event with amazing friends and attendees. Um, so that is like on the activities in terms of events and stuff. For
To you before we move on to the next section.
yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, so I'm curious about like the buybacks that you mentioned. Was it 20% every quarter, did you say?
Yeah, so 20% of the pro coffee. So as you know, we are running a DEX, right? So there will be pro coffee and 20% of that will be allocated to buyback Saros every quarter. So
Nice. I used to be like very skeptical of like buybacks because I always used to have this like impression in my mind that it's just like, like working hard to like kind of defend the price of your own token. And I used to have this impression that it like wasn't really like that organic. And then I realized actually like that's straight up bullshit. Like it's like pretty legit thing to do. If you look at the stock market, like, and I got this insight like not so long ago, like some of the biggest companies in the world are doing stock buybacks, and like that's a pretty well established practice. So actually, like I,
Yeah,
I feel like
we
a bit
see
of an
that
idiot
as
now
like
for being critical of it.
we see that as a really great practice. I would say another fun fact is as we have been doing the buyback way before the announcement. So that is like a really fun thing to do. Yeah, and I
Nice.
suppose that the
I've got some meme coins that are damn bad as well. Like if you guys want to buy those back up, that would be very nice.
yeah, I will be taking
But
note of it.
yeah, I wanna add, like when you mentioned about stock market, it's they've been doing that for a long time. It is a confidence signal that when the team committing to buyback, they signal confidence, and also there's like that is like pretty much saying we believe like in our token enough to recycle our real revenue into it. The other thing, it's like we're trying to be very disciplined and then responsible with our revenue. It forces the team to focus on generating real revenue, because like only real revenue can like like start funding the buy, like can fund the buyback sustainably.
I know that well because Hyperliquid have been doing a very good job of creating revenue and keeping that token price like really like performing super well. And I'm a very happy hype holder. So if Saros can start doing something similar, I'll be very happy as well.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that, like it's like a token holder of like any sort of tokens, you do appreciate like the supply reduction. That's like definitely like filter out, the paper hand holders.
For sure. So
Yeah.
Ken, sorry to interrupt you. Like we talked about buybacks, we talked about brand enhancement and like the conference thing that you guys were working on last month. And you were about to go on before I rudely interrupted. So please continue.
Yeah, so the buyback is one thing. Sorry, my wired phone just got off. So moving on to like the product development. So we were going through a lot of improvement in terms of the DEX, especially in the DOMM side. We introduced version 1.2.6 and now it's 7. So it introduced users with better UI UX, better speed for, liquidity providing. I know that there are a lot of your users who are, I would say, more on the degen side, who is always looking for trending tokens, and then you're providing LPs for that. So that's why we have so much improvement for the users. And also we, you know, uh, I would say really, it's really great to have Lido, one of the top Solana devs, to join Saros as an ecosystem lead. He will be improving a lot on the technical side as well. I would say, as a matter of fact, then we were doing this Saros Hackathon, build the boat. So the main focus here is to improve the SDK and integration process for Saros, because we think that as a DEX, being connected is all that matters. So I would say that getting Saros to connect with the whole Solana ecosystem, and that's where the hackathon comes in handy. Yeah, and also, that is on the product development side. You can jump in at any time, Jacob. Um, and also, I would say in terms of partnership, we have a lot of news. So actually, yesterday we have a really big news with Remora. So Remora were doing tokenized stocks. So what we did with them is like bringing the tokenized stock onto Saros. I think they introduced 5, which is crazily hot stocks right now. SP 500, MicroStrategy, Circle. I think Circle is like a really hot one. because they are introducing a chain, and then it's all Web3 related. NVIDIA and also
And
Tesla.
finally buy something that's not just USDC.
Yeah. It's kind of like a really great way to like getting both of attention from the Web3 people and also the Web2 people. That's for the Remora side. And also we have great news. I think it's like the highlights of this month, the month of August. So we're gonna have 50 mil of TVL coming to Saros from Bitfi. They are bringing BTC to Saros. I would say for this one, it is like our focus to actually bringing BTC5 back to Solana. So that's a really good one. And
Nice. I have a question, like
yeah,
actually for Lynn there, which is like, so Ken just mentioned like what he thinks is like the biggest or most interesting, I guess, milestone, which is this BitFi deal. Would you agree, Lynn? Like that's the biggest thing of the month so far?
We'll have more incoming. This is just the start. You've been seeing a lot of announcements, so we're making waves. But yeah, I'll touch a little bit on like BTC5. So if you look at numbers, like total BTC market today is 1.2 trillion. And why would like this explain why we are doing it the way we do it? And then it's also like explain like our rationale. So like total BTC market is 1.2 trillion, like FTB. The number of like wrapped tokenized BTC on chain today is about 20 to 25 billion across like ETH, Tron, Solana. On Solana, there's only a few, I would say like 100 million, if not less, altogether. So we're definitely seeing a like a huge untapped market here. I also want to address like sort of like a myth that a lot of people are saying, hey, like BTC holders, they don't trade. They are most people who are long BTC. I actually want to challenge that myth. I do think a lot of people are sitting on BTC just because they don't have the route to do it. And we want to be the platform where we provide a place for people to use like their BTC more efficiently. But yeah, that's
Got
like
it. So
my little pitch on BTC5.
I think BTC5 is interesting. I think BTC on chains is interesting. Like my biggest bag now is actually for the first time
BTC.
in a long time BTC. I should probably start rotating out of that because I feel like we're in this like really weird version of an old season. But I actually have never bought any of my BTC onto Solana. And if you were to ask me why, I don't actually know the answer to that question. I guess because like I've always just been very like cautious of my BTC. I tend to just like have it locked up, right? So like no one can do anything spooky with it and I can't do anything stupid with it. But actually like if I'd been earning some yield on my BTC for the past few years, that would probably be feeling pretty good right now. So
Well,
maybe I need to check in on that.
I think two things you're missing out. One, it's like actually you're not missing out on the upside because you're holding on to it, but there's like this like 4% easily. Like if you can like just like stick it somewhere. 4% off a BTC, it's quite a bit of money.
Yeah, for sure. Like there's much more than zero, which is what I'm used to. And like, I think I'm like lots of people in crypto. I have like portfolio, which is like a bit more actively traded in the market. And then I just have like this chunk of assets that just sits there and like I don't let myself touch it. And like even when like we're transitioning from bull to bear, I don't even touch it. I just leave it. So yeah, I probably should have been doing something a little bit smarter with that over the past few years. Maybe I will for the next few years.
Yeah,
So
I also want to
yeah,
touch. I don't think that's like your fault or anything. I just don't think we provide like a better route or like a better way for people to do it. It's also like on the educational level too. It has not been broadly like announced or anything like that, or like there's actually no good tool to do it, especially on Solana at the moment.
Yeah, I always felt like there was like some relatively good synergy between Bitcoin and Solana as well, because like I think there's a lot of history between Bitcoin and Ethereum as like some kind of like rivalry there where like Bitcoiners would say Ethereum's not even like really decentralized in comparison, and then like Ethereum people would say you can't do anything on Bitcoin, and like ETH is like ultrasound money or whatever. But I think with like Solana's never tried to be Bitcoin, so the Bitcoin people don't have the same like negative feelings towards like some of the Bitcoin like people are closer to being maxis don't have the same negative feelings about Solana that they do about Ethereum because it's not trying to achieve anything similar. Um, so yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting space to be operating in. And you touched on one other thing, Cam, which I just wanted to jump onto quickly, was actually about like you mentioned the hackathon. I don't know if you're going to talk more about that later. If you are, we can get to it later. But if not, like I'd be interested in understanding like
Yeah.
what is that hackathon focusing on, and like what are people building?
Yeah. Just want to like add my opinion to the BTC as well. I
Sure.
think BTC has been like slapped on in the Solana ecosystem for quite some time now. And I think more and more people are, you know, they are trying to like get away from, I would say, like the tradition that BTC Maxi is always like holding. So with Solana, we all can see that there's a lot of stuff to do with tokens on Solana, right? So I would say that when we bring back the BTC file onto Solana, there's gonna be a lot of use case and also utilities to comes with that. And yeah, that is what we are trying to do as well. Speaking of like the hackathon, so yeah, it's gonna be a really long one because so as of right now, we are having the hackathon phase one, and there's a lot of next phases in the next couple weeks and months. For this phase, it's gonna focus more on the as I mentioned, it's gonna focus on SDK and also like the integration process for Saros DEX. So right now, the devs are trying to like submit their work onto Saros DEX SDK. It's kind of like a bug hunt, and also like writing guide to actually how to use the SDK. I would say, I went through a lot of the submission, and I would say a lot of them are really meaningful. Um, that means Saros is getting a lot of attention, but it also means that I would say the team has a lot of work to do to improve the product because it's a bug hunt, right? So, but that's just why we are here to do it. To keep building in the long run. I would say as of right now, the phase is still open. So if any of the listener here today is a dev or like anyone who is like interested in it, please hop in to challenge yourself. And also if you're not familiar with SDK and also integration process, it's totally okay. The next phases will be in the next couple weeks. So you're okay to hop in anytime.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. Sorry. I just want to add that. So like this hackathon is something I push really hard for. I I have like a love-hate relationship with meme coin. Like I love trading it, but I also don't like the behavior of it. I really want my visions for Saros is something a DEX that has to build for long term for the company, long term for the team, but also like long term for the builders within Solana. So I really want or like challenge the builders to think about building something cool, not something that's like just like a version of like something else, and also building something that's good on top of Saros. So here's an idea. Build something that enable like the BTC file liquidity to be like collateral trading based, like building like different tool for like yield source. or like building like the suite of like DeFi tools on Solana using like Saros liquidity engine. But yeah, like Ken said, the first phrase is bug bounty, where like we have to get the starter kit right, like having the correct SDK, figure out like what's wrong with like all our documents, and then make it easier for builders view and also for like our external integration as well.
Yeah, and I think if anybody's looking for any hackathon ideas, I think building a vault where on top of Saros liquidity pools, where all of the rewards and incentives get funneled into a pot, and then that gets distributed to my wallet address. My handle is dizzylizzy.sol. So if you guys want to send it there, then I'd be very happy. Thanks. So, okay, hackathon, that sounds good. And how much money is up for grabs in the hackathon? I don't know if you mentioned already. If you did, then sorry, but I didn't get it.
Ken, you're mute.
Yeah, so right now for the phase one, it's gonna be 5K, but it's just gonna be for the phase one, and a lot will be coming to the next phases. So I would do the call to action again. Yeah.
Public knowledge, yeah, but I can assume wife
No,
changing money.
I can share. 100K. That's how much we allocate, and who knows if we're happy with the result, we might do another one quarterly even.
You guys got money. Okay, that sounds good. Is that 100K in like cash or in Saros tokens?
Stable coins.
Ooh.
It's real money. It is.
Might have to start taking some Rust courses so that I can learn how to write code and help with some ideas. So
yeah,
okay.
But also,
cool.
I want to add one thing. I want to add one thing for people who are interested in doing it. Having a strong business case is very important. Like having a good idea and know how to execute it, and then have good code are like it's like the formula to win.
That's for the second stage, right? Like the bit that's not live yet.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Right, I interrupted again. Sorry, and I got us quite sidetracked.
Yeah.
What else you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, and also I would say yeah, I think I covered up like most of the activities that we had during August, and I want to dive deeper a little bit onto the branding enhancement. So I suppose if you were with Saros for like a long time ago, then you probably see the new enhancement bring up a more really like relatable identity, a vibe that speaks directly to the LP community with a really great visual and language. I would say the contents right now would be and also the designs would be more shareable, I would say. And it would drive a lot of community hype as well. I suppose that the LP's community, yeah. Um,
We just got a very loud sneeze. I love that.
and yeah, I think that with this kind of brand enhancement, it is gonna be and it also like get translated into our products as well, a really more, I would say, friendly and somehow some degen vibe, and it suits Solana a lot. So our team has been working on it for quite a while. So kudos to the design team as well. I think they've done a really good job, and we have already seen it with the animation and also the current brand design. So this is really great. Yeah, and also I would say a real big milestone that we already achieved in August is that we are now at 500 mil of trading volume all time, and it is still counting. So we are looking to do more, and I think that Lynn here can set up the tone for the goal and any numbers that you would like to see when we, ends the year of 2025?
The big B, not 20, not in, well, when's the end of this year? 4 months from now. I think we should be achieved before that. We should be able to achieve it before that. Then we can go. We can all go on a nice vacation.
I'm pretty confident it'll be way past the B by the end of the year. I think it needs to be for sure. Okay, understood. So one thing that we haven't talked really much about yet that I saw on the Saros feed today was KuCoin. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I suppose that and yeah, I think yesterday we also get listed on Kraken as well. So it was
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I got my exchanges that begin with K confused. I meant to say Kraken.
I was like,
yeah.
Did we get one without?
So I get those
knowing
two confused because they've all been around for a long time and they're kind of like similar size, right? Like,
oh, sorry, with K. Yeah.
Kraken, sorry, Kraken, the American exchange, not KuCoin, the somewhere in Asia exchange. Let's talk about Kraken. And I know Kraken's like been doing pretty well actually in this last like year or so. Like they're pretty OG. They've been around for a long time, but then I know Coinbase were having some issues and were upsetting a bunch of people, and then Kraken started pushing quite hard, especially on Solana stuff, and they got some good traction, I think.
Yeah.
I have to hop on my X instantly because I suppose that we haven't had any recent news with KuCoin, but yeah, it was Kraken. And yeah, I think that it was in our effort with Kraken to like establish more of the, I would say, Saros exposure in the US and also European countries.
Nice.
And
Of all, the weird coincidence as well is like Lynn, your FTX. I actually got my FTX money back relatively recently, and it got deposited into Kraken. So I have some US dollars in Kraken, and maybe I'll buy some Saros because I don't know what else to buy.
Go for it. Not financial advice.
So the stars were
But
aligning in my world.
yeah, but I think Kraken is doing a few very good things. The app's looking great. They make really good money from staking mostly different things. They are very big on like stocks at the moment. So I think they have the right direction. So it's one of like the big US like exchange that I follow quite a bit. That and Coinbase.
Nice. Yeah, I think they're the big two in the US.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So we've talked a little bit about what's been happening. I don't know if we want to talk more about what's been happening, or if we want to move on to like what will be happening that you can disclose.
yeah, so I suppose that we can move on to the next one because I think we covered up like pretty much about what we have achieved in August and where we are heading. Lynn have already said about the goals. So the whole team is like you're really in a collective effort to achieve that.
Do you want to share some of like the future goal or like our?
Yeah, so I would say for the future goal, realistically, in the short run, we have already achieved 500 mil of trading volume. So the next goal is definitely 1 bill. And I think it's gonna happen pretty soon. And also in terms of TVL, we're gonna aim for 100 and then 200 and more. So with the current stats, we are having 30 mil of TVL, so 100 can be achieved like really quickly. But to aim high, we gonna do more and see how we can fit in the 300 to 500 mil of TVL category. So I would say that they are all good.
Yeah, I also want to add that like beside the BTC-Fi native, we're also talking to a lot of like stablecoin partners too. It's not just about like BTC. BTC will need to be paired with like different sources to be, like that go-to pair. So therefore we bring in like quite a bit of TVL from like different partners from different stablecoin from different chains as well. So that's like something we're focusing to. So always welcome to talk to these guys if anyone have good connections.
Yeah. And also like we are all here for as a DEX business, right? So as long as there's tokens and also like trading volume going through, and we are good. So I would say another focus for us in the last couple of months, and also it still remains, is that to support project launches and also helping them to grow to maintain sustainable token activities. So if you guys are having any ideas or working projects who wants to do the token launches, hit me up, or any of the team members will be there to support you guys.
Launch
Yeah.
tokens on Saros. Got it. Okay, so if you guys have more to share, let's share. Otherwise, we can go to some of the questions from the audience, which I'm about to load up.
Yeah. I think we can go over the live Q&A.
Okay, cool. So there was a question here about like, if someone wants to join the bounty, is coding skills required? And like, is there a knowledge of the Rust language required? I think like you guys are better to answer that question than me. But my guess is like for the bounty, you probably need some coding skills, but for the next stage, you maybe don't. But you probably need to work with people who do.
Yeah, for the bounty, we're focusing on SDK, so definitely someone who can write codes, because that's the part that we need like help on. For the hackathon, not necessarily, but you're gonna need to find someone who can write code, because like we need to be able to see business idea, but then again, like code and execution. So if you can find some like good team members and start like a team, and then do like a team thing, that would be awesome. We can help with like guidance and things.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So basically, the TLDR is like, if you don't have the technical skills, get in the chat and ask to join the team.
Team up with people is the best strategy.
Yeah. Also, like there's a few community you can look into, like Super Team. They have a lot of like good Solana devs. Definitely reach out to them. That would be like a good resource.
Yeah, that sounds good. So Mr. Punk is very happy with the answers, and I'm seeing some love hearts. So you've made him a very happy person. My next question, shout out to Mr. Punk, by the way. I'm expecting to see a profile picture that looks a bit like a crypto punk, though, and instead it's something else. So Mr. Punk, sort it out, level up. Okay, we've got Edam with the question about like, okay, can you guys basically describe Saros in one word or one sentence that would help beginners to easily understand it? Who wants to do this?
I'm gonna give it to Ken, and maybe if I have a good idea, I might chime in.
Yeah, I think it can be like, from this perspective of each person, but like for me, it's gonna be liquidity, because I would say like for the business of DEX, then liquidity is like the flow that goes to every corner of the business. So where the tradings you want to go through a smooth trading experience, you want to basically anything is related to liquidity, and that's where we are trying to push the liquidity to a certain level that will be like bringing the best trading experience for the users. And also that's on the trading side, right? And also on I would say, the liquidity provider side. So we can also help them to actually like, in the process of providing those liquidity, it's going to be much better for them. Better UI, UX and stuff. So, yeah, I would say one word would be liquidity.
Got it. One word is liquidity, but we didn't get one sentence. So that was pretty clear for me, but that is too many. So Lynn, I want you to paraphrase what Ken said or add your own twist and get it down. I want 15 words or less.
No, I have one. I started with one. I only have one.
Okay. That's less than 15, so I'm happy.
It's the one that's actually very much kind of fit my journey. It's adaptability. It reflects on a few things. It reflects on the products. Saros is not locked into just one model. It has DMM, CMM, and AMM. It's adapt where liquidity is designed to fit what the builders need. And also the other thing, adaptability is with market. It's shift with the narratives. Today it could be BTC5, tomorrow it could be like RWAs. We want to see where we could create like this strength with like the current niche, or especially things that people don't look at. And then the other thing is adaptability with team and culture. I have this expectation where people need to change fast and then execute fast. Everyone at Saros could have like certain specific skills, but I have this expectation where people will have to be willing to flex and then work beyond their role. And then also like the last thing is like adaptability with our edge too. A lot of dexes, they are good at one thing. Saros will strive to be, adaptive or by adapting with like builders, assets, and also like different ever-changing narratives. That's more than 15 words. Yeah.
That was way more than 15, but I think Edam's probably got the point. Edam, if you're unhappy with the responses, let us know. And there'll be some disciplinary action taken. Well, I don't know who can give Lynn disciplinary action actually, but yeah, we'll see.
Can just like ban me from next call.
Ban you from next call. Delegate.
I saw this really interesting question. Like, can you share more about upcoming DOMM features or improvement that the community should look forward to? So I cherry picked this because I know the answer, so I will be doing it. So basically, in the next couple weeks and months, we're gonna introduce the COMM model as well for the Saros DEX. So at that time, then we'll be having all kind of liquidity model available for liquidity provider. So it's gonna do a lot to like giving options to those who are like less familiar with the OMM. And also like it is gonna be really great for projects as well to actually like having options on how they should do stuff with their tokens liquidity. And also in terms of the DOMM, then we're gonna introduce I would say the rewards session as well. And it is gonna give up like a better experience for the users whenever they are providing liquidity. Because I suppose that if you are using Saros DEX right now, it still haven't been I would say optimized on that part. But we were working on it, and you guys will see it really soon. And yeah, and also like once the hackathons have been like going for a while now, we're gonna have more, I would say, ideas and narrative to actually improve the product even more.
Nice. So talking about like optimizations, I see there's a question here about like Solana and how can Saros ensure like lower fees and things like faster trades while making sure it's still secure. Now, I don't know about on the trading side, like I'm sure there's some interesting things you could do there, but like on the fee side and like with speed,
yeah,
like have you guys got anything planned with the DLMM for like liquidity providers so that like that process is more efficient with like the setting up of liquidity positions with like bins and when you're setting up multiple bins? Because I think that's one area that could definitely be optimized.
Yeah, definitely. So I would say on the fee part, so the fee is actually like it is permissionless, so anyone can create pool, and it's gonna be, up to the pool creator to actually set up the fees. So, but in terms of speed and latency of how all action are performed on Saros DEX, then we'll be improving it quite, I would say, a lot. Um, if you were using Saros DEX for a while now, I think that you will be noticing like how fast it gets in terms of speed from day one till now. So I would say like, and then we are still in the process of improving it. So that is something you guys can also like, looking forward to. Um, yeah, I think that, I
Or
don't know if that answers the question.
we're also adding a number of bins very soon.
Yep.
With like more?
Yep.
Okay, nice. That's pretty cool. So like just going through, I don't know how much time we've got left, but I'm assuming not very much longer. So I don't think we're gonna be able to get every single question here. I'm gonna go for the ones that I think should have quick answers. Countries that might be hosting upcoming Saros community events. Have we got anything else on the map coming there? Anywhere in the world?
We can do a poll, and then we'll figure it out.
Everywhere.
But are you like going to any conferences and having any events there as well, or no?
Yeah, I'll be present in KBW and 24/9, Token 24/9.
So that's Korea and Singapore, not Dubai, right?
Correct.
Okay,
No.
Korea and Singapore.
But
Saros comes.
happy to go to Dubai if anyone gives me a reason to.
Right, if you're in Dubai and you're in the chat, then express some interest and then might come and visit you. Okay, cool. There's another question here. Who's speaking? I think we got that one, but thanks, Tao. And then which ecosystem should Saros collaborate with beyond Solana? I think that's an interesting question there, right? Because there are a few ways in which you can look at that. One is like expanding to a different chain, so you guys can say whether or not that's going to happen. And then another one is just like expanding with like that, or maybe like partnering with like other chains and bringing their assets to Solana to trade on Saros. So anything in those areas?
Yeah, so I would say that, so I've been here for quite a while, so I would say this question is asked kind of really often because I think the users are always questioning if we are moving to another chain or something. But so in my opinion, then Solana is still like one of the best ecosystem right now, and I don't think we are planning to expand yet. But like in terms of bringing assets from other chains to Solana, we have been working kind of deeply with a lot of bridge, for example, Wormhole, and other bridges that will be bringing those kind of assets onto Solana, and then we'll be like supporting them when they are here. So I would say that you know I don't think that we need to move to another change, not just yet.
Got it. Lynn, you want to add anything or
I
no?
actually, yeah, I do want to add something. So like a little bit of history in Saros. Saros initially was a super app that tried to be good at many, many things. I prefer for us to stay on Solana because it keeps us focused. I do think like once we're good at something, we can start exploring other things. But to answer your questions, I do see a lot of like good DeFi application on Ethereum. And that's like where DeFi summer happened. I would love to see that on Solana. So would love to like welcome like different applications and also like even like partner with different teams to bring that into Saros and Solana.
Okay, got it. That's good. I see Tao has responded, saying, haha, sorry for that question. I joined in the middle, so no idea who is who. Okay, yeah, I didn't even think about that actually. Some people probably joined in the middle. So in the call, we have Lynn, who's the new CEO of Saros. She's been in the position, I think you said, for 34 days now or 35 days. We also have Ken, who's been part of the Saros team for a long time. And I forget the specific title that Ken has, but he's important. And then we have me, and I'm just like some washed up old crypto guy that likes to jump on live talks and question people. Pretty much.
Yep.
So other questions, like I think we got to wrap up now, so we'll do one more. Is there any questions that you guys can see that you specifically want to answer?
Yeah, I think we're good. So, if there are any questions that,
Actually, I see one. I see one that's probably quite an important one. So there's
yeah,
Pronaps Double Quarter asks a question. I believe Bitcoin will rise in the long term. However, I want to put my Bitcoin to work. Does that mean I can put my Bitcoin in Saros? I don't quite understand. So my understanding of the answer to that question is yes, very soon. But like what you will need to do is either swap for that a token to that version of Bitcoin using
On
Saros
Solana.
or like OKX aggregator or one of those. And then you can provide liquidity using that Bitcoin. Or like if it's one of those like Bitcoin LSTs, you might need to stake your Bitcoin into it. They will issue you this like wrapped version of the Bitcoin, and then you put that into Saros. But if I understand correctly, that's not ready to go yet, but it will be over the coming month. Did I get that right?
Yep.
hopefully.
Okay, so there you go, Pronaps. So send your Bitcoin to Saros probably in a few weeks.
No,
Okay.
Bitcoin LST or like wrap Bitcoin.
Yeah, or buy
Yep.
Bitcoin on Solana and then put it into
Correct.
Saros.
Yeah.
Not financial advice, but it kind of is. Okay. You guys, anything else you want to cover before we hop off?
No, I think this
Yeah,
is
I think
pretty productive.
There's a question here actually, which is quite an important one. When will the 50 million liquidity flow into the Saros pools? Do we have a estimated timing on that? Because I saw that was the announcement.
I'm on it every day. You hear about it soon.
Okay.
And there's more incoming.
More incoming. So 50 million and 1 cent worth of Bitcoin coming to Saros.
Correct.
but it will happen. Yeah.
Okay. Do you view Jupiter as a direct competitor? My guess would be no.
No, we work pretty closely with them.
Yeah, like
But
the
they're
way
also the
that I see it,
aggregator. They are
the way I
an
see it
aggregator.
is like Jupiter is where you go for trading, right? Like, so if you want to buy and sell, like that's where you go, and that's the role of the aggregators. And then, like, Saros is more of like a liquidity venue where you take your liquidity and you provide it to earn yield. Is like the way that I see it, but I might be wrong.
No, you're completely on point.
But you can also trade on Saros if
Yeah.
you want,
Mhm.
but it's not the primary goal, right? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Correct.
partners.
The LP place. Yeah.
Because like for Solana, people are not really trading directly on DEX anymore. Either it's gonna be on aggregators or like on trading platform like we all see Axiom or like GMGN and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
lots of the dexes even just use the aggregators for their swaps anyway, right? So
Yeah.
people are always looking for best prices, so they know that. So I guess you guys and others just integrate the aggregator into the swap function.
Right.
Yeah, you are
I love
partners.
Jupiter. I use
Is what
I use
Catherine's
Jupiter
saying.
every day. So yeah,
Nice.
it's a very good place to go and swap things.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Wow. That concludes the Saros ecosystem call. Thank you, Lynn, CEO, and Ken, core contributor, for your time and for sharing your wisdom. So maybe we'll do this again sometimes. Thanks for everybody who came to listen as well. I'm going to go and eat my dinner.
We all got that too.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Every project starts with a liquidity pool. In a volatile market, not every pool grows. Saros empowers growth by connecting fragmented pools and projects into one deep source with intentional design. This is the liquidity layer, a foundation for growth momentum, enhancing the entire liquidity flow, nourishing Solana's projects and the future of internet capital markets. Grow together. Grow with Saros.